Hello everyone. In this presentation, I'm going to be walking you through the research proposal, which is essentially a way for academics to propose a topic to an audience. And this can become pretty confusing for students, especially if they're not used to it. So that's the reason why I'm actually using this presentation as a way to help avoid any kind of confusion. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we need to figure out what the research proposal is. And so let me go ahead and define what the expectations are for this research proposal. In short, a research proposal introduces the reader to the topic that you are going to research. It is the first step in the research process. The proposal is not an argument, so you are not supposed to present an argument in the proposal. You are only informing the reader about the topic and what you plan to do from here. This is the thing that actually gets students pretty confused because they think they need to immediately present an argument when they present a proposal. Please remember that this is just the proposal. You're not supposed to do a lot of research. You're just essentially going to walk the reader through your process of what you're going to do at the moment. To help students understand the various parts of the essay, what I'm going to do now is going to walk students through each of the paragraphs of the essay. So for instance, we're going to start with the introduction. So the introduction for this essay should define and describe the topic you have chosen to analyze in the research essay. It should include some version of the following question. And you're going to identify your chosen literary text, an accurate representation of mental illness. So remember, it needs to include the question. It does not need to answer the question. We're not looking for an answer at the moment. We're just essentially starting the question process. And finally, in the introduction, you're going to have a thesis that should list the proposal's organization. And I have a model thesis which you can use for the introduction. And it is this. In this essay, I will explain how I chose my literary text, how I decided on the mental illness, and what type of sources I plan to use in my research. The first body paragraph of the research proposal should answer the following question. How did you choose your literary text? In short, this paragraph is going to be more of a process paragraph than anything else. You're going to describe your process. So, what process did you use in making that decision? Did the text interest you? Explain why. Were you assigned the text? All of these questions can be answered in the first body paragraph. The second body paragraph should answer this question. How did you decide on the mental illness? Once again, this paragraph is going to be a process paragraph. It's not going to be an argumentative one. And so to help develop your paragraph, you should answer the following questions in this paragraph. What clues from the text led you to decide that the specific mental illness is being depicted in the story? Did you have to do any research to learn more about the mental illness? If so, what did you learn? And finally, the third body paragraph should answer this question. What types of sources do you expect to use in your research essay? For this paragraph, you just need to list the general types of sources you expect to use. So for example, are you going to use documentary films? Are you going to be using academic articles? Are you going to be relying on books or web sources? Just what types of sources do you plan to use? It will also be helpful in this paragraph to identify at least two specific sources. You don't need to have read them, but you do need to at least identify them by their title and give the reader an idea of what kind of information that they generally have. The concluding paragraph for this essay simply just needs to summarize the choices you have made for the project and explain what you plan to do next. In short, conclusions generally look to the future. So you need to look towards the future in terms of like what your next steps are going to be as you walk yourself to the research essay. Thank you for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions.